Crime number 1, selling Peter as a slave. In the episode Horrid Henry Gets Rich Quick, Henry's relentless quest for money leads him to sell his own brother Peter as a servant. Frustrated by his parents' refusal to give him extra pocket money, Henry sets up a yard sale, hawking mum's perfume and dad's tennis racket. But things escalate when Henry decides to put Peter on the market.
Oh, stop moaning, or I'll sell you!
Convincing Peter with a measly 10p a day salary, Henry offers him as a fully trained servant to his friends.
Would you like to earn some money, Peter?
How?
I could sell you as a servant, and I'll give you 10p.
Rude Ralph eagerly buys Peter for £1.50.
Now run along with your new owner. Amazing!
But before long, Ralph flips him to Moody Margaret for £2. Margaret wastes no time in transforming Peter into her personal slave, ordering him to fetch peanuts and drinks under constant threat of humiliation. Desperate, Peter begs Henry to save him, offering all his pocket money in return.
She's horrible. Nearly as bad as you. Come back. I'll give you all my money.
All right.
After taking Peter's cash, Henry strikes a deal with Margaret, trading himself as a servant. However, Henry sabotages Margaret's backyard, causing her parasol, sun lounger, and paddling pool to collapse.
Hate you! Not my fault if none of your stuff works properly, is it?
Go away. Just go away, Henry. You're horrid.
Margaret releases him from servitude, and Henry leaves richer than before. This is a clear case of human trafficking. Henry's actions aren't just horrid, they're criminal. Crime number 2, destroying Peter's cello. In the episode Who Stole Mr. Kill, Henry spirals into a destructive frenzy after discovering his beloved teddy bear Mr. Kill is missing. Jumping to conclusions, Henry interrogates everyone, from silly Simon, accused of cooking Mr. Kill for dinner, to Moody Margaret, accused of burying him. But it's his attack on Peter that truly takes the cake. Storming into Peter's room, Henry makes a mess before threatening Peter with scissors.
Mom! You did it! You stole Mr. Kill! You've been waiting to get back at me.
In a shocking act of intimidation, Henry cuts the strings on Peter's cello, demanding a confession.
You don't want to do this, but you've left me no choice. Mr. Kill?
Please. I don't know.
Last chance!
Moments later, Mum and Dad arrive to reveal the truth. Mum had taken Mr. Kill to wash him because he was smelly. Henry is punished, but not before inflicting significant emotional damage on Peter and destroying his instrument. This level of coercion and property destruction would easily land Henry in legal hot water. Imagine cutting the strings of someone else's cello to force a confession. It's pure intimidation and vandalism. Crime number 3, destroying the school gardens. In the episode Horrid Henry's Time Capsule, Henry's selfishness leads to the destruction of the school gardens. Refusing to part with his own belongings for his class time capsule, Henry steals Peter's bunny and uses it as his contribution. Guilt-stricken, he later decides to retrieve Bunny, but convinces Rude Ralph, Aerobic Al and Beefy Bert to help him dig up the garden, promising buried treasure.
So who told you there was treasure buried here?
Everyone knows that, don't they, Bert?
I don't know. We're gonna be rich!
The boys spend hours digging massive holes only to find empty time capsules. Ralph and the others, realizing that they've been duped, abandon Henry. The next day, Miss Battleaxe discovers the ruined gardens and Henry's slime is found at the scene, implicating him in the crime.
It's my slime!
Yes, and Miss Battleaxe found it at the scene of a crime. Apparently, you organised the trashing of the school gardens.
This isn't just mischief, it's destruction of school property. The cost of replanting the gardens would make any self-respecting property owner consider pressing charges. Crime number 4, treason. In the episode Horrid Henry Meets the Queen, Henry's antics go beyond mere disobedience to outright treason. The Queen herself visits the school, and Peter is chosen to present her with flowers. Jealous, Henry spends the entire day sabotaging the event. First, he tells Peter that if he messes up, he'll be sent to the Tower of London to have his head chopped off.
And if you get it wrong, they'll lock you up in the tower.
No.
And then they'll sharpen their huge axe and...
Peter is so terrified that he faints.
Dad, is it true that they chop off people's heads in the tower?
Yes, it is. That's why they call it the Bloody Tower.
Later, during the Queen's visit, Henry disrupts the Tudor display by elbowing his classmates and singing, "How many TVs do you own?"
How many TVs do you own?
To make matters worse, Henry lies about his royal lineage earlier in the day, claiming Mum and Dad aren't his real parents and that Peter isn't even his brother.
You see, Peter isn't really my brother, and Mum and Dad aren't my real parents.
In the book version, Henry's actions are even worse. He tells Peter to curtsy and cock a snook at the Queen, leading to even more humiliation, whether it's lying about his lineage or disrupting a royal visit. Henry's behaviour is a direct affront to the monarchy. Treason might be an exaggeration, but defamation and public disorder certainly aren't. Horrid Henry isn't just a misbehaving child. He's a walking crime spree. From selling his brother and destroying property to coercion and even possible treason, Henry's actions cross the line time and time and time again. While the show often treats his behaviour as harmless, the real-world consequences would be severe. He may only be a child, but Henry would still likely be sent to a juvenile detention centre, otherwise known as juvie. Henry's antics might make for great TV, but they're a reminder of what happens when unchecked chaos runs wild. If this were real life, Horrid Henry would spend less time wreaking havoc and more time answering to the authorities. Snipe, snap, out.